So the commercials really didn't do shit. And uh, it was cool for what it was and got a lot of street cred and all of that. But didn't really make no sales on the website. Uh, the stores where it was at saw an uptick in sales because they was like, man, I just saw the commercial, so on and so forth. And so about 2006, I get a call from the Japanese and they tell me that they're gonna have to file bankruptcy, Chapter 13, whatever that deal with, whatever they do there. They said the yen got all screwed up and they wasn't gonna be able to buy no more for a while. So I wasn't really tripping. It was messed up, but I'm at this point, I'm used to. From years on end, I'm used to having some money come in, and so that was a bother. But at the same time, I was like, shit, I'm just gonna keep it moving. And I still got I'm doing my detailing. I still got my mom and pop stores. Cats still coming to get it out the trunk and to sell it out the trunk. So it was still cool. And but at that time, I had already had this thought in the back of my mind about this other clothing brand. And I remember sitting on the couch with my dude, Stevie. I was like, man, I got to put another lick down. So he was like, shit, what you thinking? And so I told him about this idea that I had just been having for a couple years at this point. And so, as I had explained to you guys, how you doing? I had just became an avid reader. At least I think I mentioned that when I was gone. It was one time in case I didn't tell you guys, I just became an avid reader. I engulfed myself with every and all kind of personal development, information, marketing, advertising, and filmmaking. And so this idea that I had, I compiled over the years legal pads on top of legal pads of these notes, these thoughts that I had wrote down and quotes that I've come across over the years. Had just a plethora, just pages and pages and pages of it. And so I had always knew that I wanted to put those words like on a shirt. Well, that idea came after I got into the clothing business. And remember, I was thinking after I was learning the game of clothing, like, man, I could put those shirts, put those words on a shirt. So that was just, had been on my mind for about a year. And so when Stevie had asked me, what you got in mind, I tell him about that and tell him that I get the idea from this company I had read in Entrepreneur magazine. I had read the article when I was in jail, and then I had read it again since I had been home about how these two dudes start this little clothing company called Life is Good, right? So I told him I had come up with this idea that life is phenomenal. But anyway, I had this idea. I didn't have a concept. I just had the idea in my mind. The concept came from what I had just told you that I had read about. Later on, I just, man, this shit, I could do the same thing. So, hey, what's up? And so, I tell him about the idea. I end up telling my graphic dude, I call him up, Jay, give me said I got an idea, draft me up something that's mind, body, and spirit. So he come up with this androgynous being sitting in a lotus position. So we on the phone, so he sent it to me. I check it out. I was like, it's cool, but missing something. And I end up finding the starburst on some picture. I sent that to him. I said, man, put that behind that logo. And we did it. I'm like, that's it. And so I did all this during this time. So all this was all happening all at the same time. And so when I tell him, how you doing? When I tell him, he was like, shit,
You're welcome.
try that.
I don't know whether or not.
And
yeah, I'll just have that one.
and so that was 2000, like 6 or so. I start working on this idea, right? And still not, I ain't tripping on Gangster affiliated. I'm still just letting it take off. So I end up launching this company, Positive Thought Brand, right? And we launched it at Loyola Marymount at Yoga Month, which is this event at the time. They had, I guess it's around the country, but they have it in September where all the yoga instructors come around and teach classes and workshops and all of that. So we did that. I ended up getting I got a call one time from the largest yoga e-retailer that was online at the time, Yoga Clothing. So they called, asked us that we would like to drop ship. I didn't even know what that was. Start doing it. And they did all the advertisement and ended up getting featured in People's Style Watch. That thing took off. Opened up a couple stores. Stores really wasn't making no money, so the sound all great, but it wasn't like that. We got offered free rent at one place downtown LA because they were rebuilding. They were trying to turn their downstairs into this artisan market, and they learned the Positive Thought Brand through some show that we did and so on and so forth. Another place I found in Huntington Beach, which I was advised against it, but ego shit, store in Laguna Beach. It was bomb. You know, view of the ocean and all that. That shit didn't make no money either. The money that was coming in was from Yoga Clothing, that drop shipping. That, we was doing shows all around the country. All this Gangster affiliate is still going, right? Ain't paying no attention to none of that. And so that's the way it's been kind of since. Now, I'm gonna jump to 2015 after I get arrested. I don't know if I told y'all. I had to go sit back down in 2016. Yeah, I ain't just trying to help somebody, man, and get caught in funky ass trick bag. But anyway, so I get arrested January 5th, I think, 2015. FBI come to the house early fucking morning, man. Same shit. But they was nice about it. It was 5 minutes, barely. And so I end up taking the deal, give up some fucking property, all that shit. But anyway, when all this stuff had happened, I had to take stock in my life all over again. I'm like, man, this shit wasn't supposed to happen. And so my father used to say, if you do what you're supposed to do, everything will fall into place. I'd heard that my entire life. In 2015, I'm sitting on my couch, and all this shit didn't happen. And I'm like, man, maybe I need to do what? I need to cop me a squat. I said, man, maybe I need to do what the Creator gave me and quit BSing. And so I'm sitting on the couch. My kids have been, at this point, gnawing at me. Not really gnawing at me, but asking me, Dad, how come you don't, or when you gonna shoot your movie? It's like, man, as soon as I get some time, as soon as I make time, and so on and so forth. And I'm hearing my father, man, just do what you're supposed to do, just do what you're supposed to do, and everything will fall into place. And this one particular day, it just rained, just clear, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to do what the Creator gave me. So as I told you guys, filmmaking is actually my passion. I ain't never made a movie, none of that. But I read every single filmmaking book, independent filmmaking book, low budget filmmaking, you can name it. And when I came home, that's what I was gonna do. I came home, I bought all of my film equipment. I bought a CP16 that I still have. I bought the sound equipment. And on top of that, I ended up getting a Canon XL2 for digital video. I had both cameras, still got them both. And I was gonna shoot my movie. So at that point, I said, you know what, maybe I need to take a step in that direction and just see what happens. So I ended up going to sign up to do movie background work. And so I did that. I think I signed up December 20th. No, December 17th, I think it was. And December 20th, I worked for the first time on that little show, Life is Pieces. Life is Pieces or something like that, CBS.